Hi everyone, tonight at 7 p.m. I will update you with a higher time frame analysis, Elliott wave analysis of the charts, because if this is indeed the end of wave C, then what can we expect? And of course we have a bearish scenario, we have a bullish scenario, but what is interesting is that if this is the high of wave C, it stopped at the 0.236 Fibonacci, and then there's a couple of relationships that are very interesting and expectations that we have. So I will update you about some scenarios later tonight at 7 p.m. If you don't get a notification, I will still post a video at 7 p.m. but you might not get a notification because I've been uploading too many videos in 24 hours. So just so you know, whatever happens around 7 p.m, a video about a higher time frame analysis from the all-time high to where we are now. But before we do that, of course, let's jump into the lower time frames. While Bitcoin is indeed moving to the downside, something I've highlighted in the video of this morning, I was saying I am looking for more downside. And Bitcoin is aggressively moving down on also pretty high volume, as you can see over here. So let's jump into the different counts that I have. So first of all, I had this count going on. It's the same count still as this morning, this being a W, this being an X, and then this being some sort of a Y. It doesn't match too well with some other scenarios I have. Of course, this is still an option, but looking at the price action we have here, this scenario for me becomes less likely. So this is not at the moment my preferred scenario. I will keep it on my chart for a little bit, but just know this scenario is not my preferred scenario. Then I've been like messing around a little bit on the chart. This looks very messy. You can't necessarily really get a scenario out of what you're seeing right now. And also I don't really agree with the count that I have over here based on the price action that we see. So also this count is not my preferred scenario, but I've just been trying to go into the lower time frames and see what actually happened, because it's a little bit of a riddle. Let's say there's a lot happening, there's a lot of vague parts on the chart, and it's quite a mess, honestly. This is not really the best scenario for people that use Elliott waves in trading to do any trading, because it's very difficult to find or have an idea of, hey, what might price do? Of course, if this is the high of 5, people that use Elliott waves will expect price to move to the downside, right? So you can enter your shorts, have a stop loss somewhere higher up as an invalidation, because you expect downside after the end of a wave 5. But on the more local time frames, this bit here is not that easy to count. So at the moment, this is just something I've been messing around with, nothing too interesting. This is currently what I'm actually looking at. And as you can see, it's only a small part of the chart. Sometimes when some bits are not too easy or not very easy to count, it actually helps to just forget about this part and just count the most recent price action and see what's actually happening over here. And then in a later scenario, you can look back and find relationships with what might have happened before. So that's actually what I have done. So what I have done at the moment is the following. I have counted from the high that we made over here at 0.3K basically. I've been counting the move to the downside, and actually, funny enough, in a couple of videos ago, this was a count that I already had. Then eventually I was like, nah, maybe not. And now, you know, that's also Elliott waves. It's still going to be an interesting count, because I had this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in hindsight, of course, now that we have more information, and it clarifies stuff a little bit, this can be a nice A wave followed by a B wave followed by a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to the upside. And this would then be a very nice ABC. Now, the reason that initially I thought this might not be a B wave is because it actually surpassed the target for a B wave, at least the most common target, and also the maximum target, really. The Fibonacci's that you see in your chart right now is the 1.38 and the 1.236. Let's put the level on. And as you can see, so usually wave B should end or should like finish with the candles. I mean, a wick below the 1.38 is no problem, but with the candles, usually it stops like here inside this area. However, Bitcoin, there are exceptions. Bitcoin is a lot more volatile, so you do quite often see that some Elliott wave rules are not always as respected as others. When you look towards stocks, for example, or the index funds or whatever it is, their Elliott waves can be more respected than in the volatile market of crypto. But then based on the scenario that I have over here, this then would be a wave A or 1, followed by a B or 2, followed by a 3 or C. Now, what is something important is the volume to decide, is this a wave 3 or is this a wave C? Now, if this is a wave A, B, followed by a C, what tends to happen is that the volume in a wave C is quite equal to wave A, and will diminish like slowly. So it might start quite high, and then the lower we go, of course, the lower it gets. However, when we look at a wave 3, volume tends to increase compared to a wave 1. So it's not equal, it's not less or slowing down, it's actually increasing. And what we see at the moment is that we do have, I should actually use a straight line here, we do have, okay, there we go, an increased volume profile at the moment, an increased amount of volume in time, which makes me think that this might actually be a wave 3, also based on a very local count. So if I zoom in a little bit to the local count over here, which is interesting as well, is that also connected to the CVD divergences that we had. So over here, you can see this high, right? That high is over here, wave C. Oops, that's something else. That's the Elliott wave stuff. Over here, you see the high, then we went down up, causing divergences, lower high, but a higher high on the CVD. So more people were buying here than they were buying over here at this high, but we didn't take this high. So there's some absorption going on. Then another lower high was formed, but then again, CVD increased. So more buying, but the price didn't push up, and then bam, we go down. So when we go into the lower time frames, this can be counted as a 1, 2, 1, 2. So then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a wave 1, then a 2. And then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a 3 wave 2, which then gives us basically this 1, 2, and then eventually 3, 4, 5. And then we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's basically a 1, 2, 1, 2 scenario. And if this happens and it plays out, also the divergences give it away a little bit as well. If this stuff happens, you can expect quite an explosive move. And just look at what happened. A 1, 2, 1, 2, and then bam, down we go into a wave 3 basically. So yeah, let's at least think of the targets. Now I think still, same as this morning, that this area over here between 22,900 and 22,700 basically is a very interesting area in my opinion. Also because it is the, there we go, it is the 1.236, 1.38 Fibonacci, also in confluence with a daily naked point of control and some other confluences that I have at that area. But if this is indeed a wave 3, this region will probably not stop it, because if this is a 1, 2, 3, then the targets are going to be much deeper. So let's have a look at the targets for, if like first the targets of a wave C. So wave C tends to be the same length as a wave A, meaning the 1-to-1 is an important target for a wave C. However, a wave C can also, more rare but still, reach the 1.618. So this area is still a good area for a wave C. Now if we do reach the 1.618, and you see that because of the magnet by the way, if we reach the 1.618 on high volume, this tends to be not a wave C but actually a wave 3, because wave C again, more often than not, it is the 1-to-1 relationship and not the 1.618. Sometimes even a wave C, by the way, can be 2.618, but hey, it's very, very, very rare. So if we reach the 1.618 and even maybe push further down, this is definitely going to be a wave 3, and we can be looking for lower targets, because then we have a 4 coming and a 5 coming eventually. Now, as you can see, I do have the numbers on my chart here as well. So 3, 4, 5, and then potentially this wave C, they're all in this area over here. So if this is a wave 3, one can think of extensions. And that basically means, let me get the equal numbers out. That means that the 1.618 is a first target for a wave 3, but might not be the last target. So if this is indeed a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, wave 3 can extend a lot. So this is the first target of a wave 3, but if we push through, this is the second target, this is the third target, and basically each 0.618 can be a new target. Quite often the 3.618 is kind of the max area, like the max target, but hey, you never know with wave 3. So let's just see how this pans out. Again, I am expecting more downside based on the local price action that I see here. I expect this low to be taken, and as I mentioned in earlier videos already, I also expect this low to be taken. Now, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this can be some sort of a B, C expanded flat, which is also interesting, right? Because then we have a 3 wave over here, some sort of a 3 wave, whatever it is over here, because again, this is quite difficult to count. It's one big mess, like on my chart now. And then we have some sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if this indeed is going to be an impulsive move to the downside. Again, if this is an A, B, C, a 3 wave, we have a 3, 3, 3. And I still have the scenario in my head that if that is the case and we get a 3 wave here and then we move to the upside, that it would be really, really nice if we form a fake high, meaning that basically this is going to be wave A, then we have wave B, and then we have wave C, and then it comes down so that people go buy the fake high, and then eventually we dump down. That is still a scenario I have in mind, but that's only like I would like this then to be an ABC. However, it can also happen when this is a 5-wave move. It's just that this whole scenario is going to be 3 waves. It's going to be either a WXY, and in the Y it's an ABC, or it's an ABC, which most likely will go more like deeper because of the 5-wave nature of the C in this case. And if that is the case, it's still a 3-wave structure, which can be followed by a 3-wave structure B, and then an impulsive move C to the downside. So it's just something, again, that's in my mind, but that is still far-fetched, because let's first see how this is going to work and how this is going to pan out. But hey, this is what I wanted to tell you. Again, tonight I will go into the higher time frame, which I think is going to be a very interesting video. I will go over some of the ideas, some of the targets that I have on the higher time frame, which also includes the Fibonacci relationships that you see on the chart right now and what to make of it. So that being said, thanks for watching this video. And also, by the way, before I forget, thank you to mrobert79 for replying. I really, really appreciate your reply, as well as the Bacon Guy, Massa, and some others that also reply in my videos. I really, really appreciate your feedback. And also, Robert, I really appreciate the tips of some of the videos that you would like to see, because this can give me a little bit of direction of what the viewers like, right? So of course, I will continue all the updates all the time, but now and then I will make sure to do some other videos, like a longer video where I count the full market cycle. I've written them down, those ideas, and I will make sure to work on those videos as well in the near future. So thanks for your feedback, really appreciate it. That is the end of the video. Again, have a good evening, have a good morning, have a good night, wherever you live, have a good afternoon, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.